Welcome to session 60 of Adventures in Aanthara.
It's 60? Yo,
60, yes.
Oh my
That
gosh!
is a very high number. That's at least 12 times more than I thought it was going to be when we started.
At least one
us
more than it
kidding.
was last time.
True. Previously on Adventures in Aanthara, the Twilight Heralds arrived in the city, the capital city of Ilmara, with quite a tree of potential options in front of them, but primarily driven by an interest in meeting with the more formal leadership of the Shaded Wind after quite a bit of interaction with Rylus Tyrael. And after a couple small bits of shenanigans, they did make their way into the Pershivian Conclave here in Elmara and had an audience with 3 High Shade Seers of the Wind, which included quite a lot of interesting conversation. Some reports from the party to the Wind, some theories shared by the Wind with the party, some interesting potential people worth looking into, which the Wind is actually doing, and some NDAs and or business agreements drafted, reviewed, edited, written, signed. And the party is now potentially undertaking some sort of partnership with the Shaded Wind. Hopefully a mutually beneficial one. And then they pretty much further shenaniganed their way back to the Rosewood Estate and then down to a very fancy couture where they proceeded to purchase / plan their outfits for the upcoming Radiance Gala, where they will be working under the assignment of the Wind to keep eyes out and to potentially ask questions. And that is where we left off. It is evening on Wednesday. And you guys are leaving with a open evening before you and an open 2 more days until the gala this weekend. All to yourselves. What would you, the Twilight Heralds, like to do?
Didn't we say we were gonna go have dinner with Rafe?
Yes, that was the goal. However, we also have a lot of money burning a hole in our pocket. So does anyone want to visit the magic shop while we're in the mall?
Wait, this is a mall too?
Kind of.
It's like I thought this was part of the multi-story.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were still in your house.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Take a
I
look.
mean,
Get some more of those feather tokens, at least.
oh yeah.
Came in a bit handy.
Yeah. Okay. I can't recall that man's name. At the
I know it was an impulse.
at the place.
Don't know what that was. British Brightwing all of a sudden.
Oh no.
Which of your 5 characters is that one, Leah?
Yep.
Oh
You got it out of the way early though.
It's true. Oh God, I can't think. How do you say Brightwing?
Brightwing.
Say I don't use money.
I don't use money.
I don't
Yeah.
use
That's your primary, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even say. I didn't even say it like that. It's just how it is. I believe it was Emporium. Was the what are the tags for the shop name?
I remember what it looks like. We could find a way there. If we want. We could do it a different day. I just figured if we're already here.
Might as well get it out of the way now. Besides, they may have more of these, and I will activate the bright ball and put it in front of Eclipse's nose.
Ah. Ah.
Oh, this is going to be glorious. Turn it off, put it back in the pocket.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you had your own.
I have my own. Would you like another?
I'm down to one. I gave one to a kobold.
Look, a lot of people are able to
Hey,
allot
look,
with just one
but they-
bright ball, okay?
But they looked like they really liked it, though.
I know. I think it. It felt kind of bad to lie to them, but I think it made them happy, and that was worth it.
And it brightened their day. They did it
Hey,
right. I did that right?
Yeah.
very
learning.
right.
To the Emporium.
Okay. Somebody roll. I will say history or investigation based off how you wish to find this place, since no one
shall-
remembers what it's called.
Do this historically as it is from my past. With advantage, maybe?
Yes, you would.
It's a promising start.
Guidance?
13.
You can take guidance if you want.
Mm,
Be blessed.
15.
15. Okay. It does not take all that long. You are in the Magna Market to find Whistledust's Window to the Wondrous, which does not have the
That's-
word Emporium in it.
Does
Oh,
not
I
at
thought
all.
it did!
Nope, that is probably the other place in Hockholm. I believe that has the
Oh.
word Emporium off the top of my head.
What'd you call it?
I need
Whistledust's what?
Whistledust's Window to the Wondrous. And after
There's
seeing
a
the name, you
soul
remember.
forged here.
There is a soul forged here.
There's a soul forged here.
That's right.
Brian, since you found it, I will have you roll a d6.
Let's go! I don't have those. 5
5.
golden rings.
Okay. I don't remember what you rolled the first time, but I think it was not this.
Oh, I have it here. I didn't put what we rolled, but I do have written down everything that was there.
Is this the windows? Is this what
Yes.
the windows? Okay.
Flinen, Whistledust.
Flynn Whistledust, yes.
Flinen.
If I'm not mistaken, when you were here last time,
They were like mountains.
you saw windows, or what would be the windows, seem like you were looking into a scene. It was clearly enchanted in some way. I believe that you may have seen a stampede of bison that was running across. But this time, you see what appears to be the view from a peak. Well, maybe several hundred feet above what appears to be a city. I will have everyone but Brightwing roll a history check.
That's 6.
Yahtzee.
9.
Except for Brian.
17.
You don't, need
You
to.
don't get to do it.
Who said
Welcome
6?
to the club.
Brian
No
doesn't need to
clue.
do it.
What?
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay, you were the one who rolled a 6, and what'd you roll,
Yeah.
Faye?
17.
Okay. Up to you, honestly, Faye, whether you would have been here or not. Given the amount of travel you've done for work and with your family, it's very possible. But you also would have likely seen art and just generally know of most of the major cities around Kathos. Nas, you would have been here at some point.
Mhm.
To the other two of you, it looks rather unusual. It is the city of Skyhall, which is very immediately apparent because of its many webbed lines of skylifts. Here in Ilmara, there's essentially one large system that goes from the Darn Burrows up to the Mercari Wedge and then up to the Horizon District. This is a city that's nearly entirely laced with these lines. And from our understanding in the modern world, it looks what we would call very steampunk. The entire city has that sort of appearance, feel, and architecture. There are a lot of stacked buildings, very vertical clockwork and other mechanisms, steam rising from what looks like a number of factories, a lot more metal in structures than the wood and stone that you're more used to in these bigger cities. Brightwing, to you, this is whack, because you've started, well, you came from where you came from, in which it's pretty much all wood, bits of stone here and there, and you've been into some larger cities that were much more stone-based architecture, like the city you're in now. Stone, brick, metal here and there, but this looks like, since you can't even really put, I would say it looks like machinery, but you're not even really that familiar with machinery. It looks very unusual, very strange, almost like a living thing, but made from metal. It's a fascinating city, and it's this vertical, open view downwards on this city. And that's what you see in the windows. Do you enter?
Yeah, I don't think Faye would have been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's too non-art inclined.
Word. It is not very. It's very much a technological center of Kathos. That part you probably would know. And it is one of 4 cities with a skyport in it. But you enter, or you attempt to enter. When you do, the door is locked, but you see lights on inside. It is, since I know it'll be asked, 7:15 probably at this point. You guys spent a good amount of time getting all your clothes situations set up.
That's
So it's on the later end of the night. For a business night. But you see lights and hear mute movement. Yes!
Oh shit!
Camera, you knocked so hard.
Oh, she froze it.
Oh no. Oh, we heard you for a
Uh-oh.
second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she
Uh,
blew up.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I knocked my USB thing out. If you're closed, we'll come back tomorrow, and we understand. But is there any chance you're still open?
you see a little flap, like for a male, appear at what would be your waist height, and 2 big eyes poking out with half-moon spectacles of who you remember to be Flynn and Whistledust, the gnome. Quite old. Do I know you?
Some time. We were through here, what, a month or 2 ago? Probably closer to 2 months now.
About
What'd you buy?
Some...
Pick a card, and I will pull out the deck of cards that I purchased from here.
Hey, yo! He glances through the slit. Looks over at you, who is fortunately the same person you were back then.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, I think I remember you all. You spent a good amount, perhaps.
If you'd rather we spend it somewhere else, we're more than happy to.
Closed, we could come back.
Well, we're recently closed as of 15 minutes ago, but...
Bright ball.
All right. Closes the flap. You hear a shifting of several locks, and it opens.
The retail worker in me is, like, heartbroken.
No, stand your ground.
In and
You're
out.
closed.
You do see towards the back that soul forge with the sort of copper patina greenish colored form, packing up a few things, organizing. Oh. Nods at you. They're going. They're supposed to spend money here, so have at it. And he totters behind the counter.
Are there any bright balls in the counter?
Yes. You see
I am
what is
grabbing all of them.
No,
The
I
same-
am. I am clocking them. I'm looking for them.
Roll an initiative check, both of you.
No, I'm gonna lose.
You are welcome to do anything you wish to gain some sort of boost.
Can I trip him?
You can certainly try.
I can't.
If you
trip
want
him.
to attempt to trip him, you can do that, but it's going to mean your initiative is going to fail against him no matter what if you don't succeed in tripping.
Can I trip him?
I'm gonna. I will as I go. I'm gonna press the digitation to like puff a little bit of wind and roll them all towards where I'm heading.
Okay. So they are in like
Are they
you
in
know
a
what,
little
like,
like one of those little
they're
table
in-
boxes that those little ferrets used to be in? Those little ferret balls that used to like roll around at the toy
It's-
store.
It's more like at the candy store, those plastic bins that like come forward a little bit and then there's a round lid with a little
Oh.
ball in the center.
So yeah. Did you roll
Uh,
already?
You could roll that thing a little bit if you wanted to try, but there's like a good somewhere between a dozen and a half dozen in there.
24.
Oh shoot.
23.
Wow. Okay. You guys, Eclipse and Brightwing, you watch
You can
with
be an ass.
concern
asshole.
and confusion as
Don't
the
break
two
the store. We were just let in after hours.
That's their
Sprint-
mistake.
to the front desk, and Faye, with that close of a roll, you get there and essentially open the lid and get your hand in at the moment that Nas gets there. So you're in sooner, but you don't have time to like collect them all. Unless
That's
you just
fine. I just
want
want
to
to grab a
the whole
couple.
thing.
I want to grab a couple
I
and like
am
monkey
taking-
fist it.
I am taking the immovable rod and putting it behind her wrist and activating it.
While it's inside.
Outside.
Then I'll slide the whole container forward
I'm
and move it
holding it.
around.
I'm holding it.
It's
Okay.
screwed to the counter. You just said I could move it. I will like if it's right here, I'll just move my hand forward. Like
So Nas, are you trying to hold the
it's
container?
like barring the wrong side of a door.
Hold the container with the immovable rod clicked.
My intention was to keep her hand in the jar, but if the jar is movable, it doesn't work. So.
She would be able to slide it sideways.
Mhm.
Okay. What are you doing,
Fair
Faye?
enough.
I was just gonna like put my hand in and grab a couple and then like monkey fist so he like so that like he couldn't pull my hand out of the jar.
Okay. He appears to want to go for some maneuver to keep you stuck, but realizes it won't work.
I will pause and say, "You wouldn't be ticklish, would you?"
No.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check, both of you.
Not great.
Faye, roll persuasion or deception, depending on what's true. Don't say which.
Okay.
Bad, only a 22.
People that have
12.
the critical roll dice, is the little picture the natural 20?
20.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes,
I
it
got
is.
the cupcake.
Oh my
Nice.
fucking god, already.
Plus.
Plus 8, 28.
Okay.
I will DM you, Leah. Because I don't want Brian to know the
Well,
answer.
what did Nas roll? Or Yasmin?
Yes.
12.
Okay, I'm assuming that you rolled better than that, Faye, because it's almost impossible for you not to.
I said I got a 22.
Okay. Alright, you can DM Right Wing. But as far as you know, Nas, she seems to be telling the truth.
I think Brightwing and Eclipse are just kind of standing by the front door watching
Yep.
this happen. And I'll leave it over to
Halia,
Eclipse.
which is the name of the Soul Forge, is like putting a box down sideways, looking at you both.
I'll look over to Eclipse and I'll just be like, convey what I'm trying to convey, but probably doing a really bad job at it. Being like,
50-50 it is.
We will take all of these.
She finishes setting down her box. Curious indeed.
Immensely useful in friend-making politics.
She just nods slowly.
Uh.
Writes down some notes. There's, after you count them up, 9.
Excellent.
Impossible to split evenly.
Mhm.
Damn.
So I get the extra one because you took one of mine.
Suppose that's fair. I'm keeping this one though.
Fine.
is there anything
you-
else in this store that's not?
That's all that matters, Leah.
Wait, were the Featherfall coins in here?
You
Yeah,
can
they
put
were here.
6 Yes, Featherfall tokens were here. You can put 6 gold, 3 silver on your tab. I don't remember what I charged you the first time, but that's what we're going with this
Inflation's a bitch here in
True.
Edinburgh.
Inflation. Oh dear God.
time. It's a political
I'll-
upheaval
I
these
know
days.
for a fact
Money's
that the
not
feather
great.
coin. I know for the fact that the featherfall coins were gold each.
That
per
is correct.
coin.
That I actually have written down.
How? I guess I'll go look for those.
They're also on the front desk in a similar sort of thing. He essentially has a couple of these little like
Okay.
lollipop containers almost.
I think what I'll
Of
do in true
trinkets.
like older sibling fashion, just while they're gremlining about these, I'm
There's
gonna
a
go
farm
up and
still
scoot
going.
it just a
Yep.
little further away on the counter and just kind of look at everything while ignoring them.
Okay. You want to
We
look around
needed-
the shop?
Yeah.
Okay. You see all the stuff that you are normally able to find and purchase at these sorts of shops, which I've given you all a link for. I don't know if you still have it active. But there are, as there were previously, some items marked as special acquisition or recent additions. The ones that catch your eyes, you see a candle of shadows, which is made of what looks to be a black wax that's set into like a chamber stick of a similarly dark metal. 35 gold. You see a wrist pocket ring, which is a platinum ring with a dark black gem. 99 gold. It's on sale, normally 125.
Whoa.
You see a circlet of vigilance, which is a elegant and delicate circlet of silver that sort of winds its way into what looks like a watchful eye at the center. 350 gold. You see a cloak of shadows hanging on almost like a mannequin situation. Dark gray and seems to almost shift oddly if you look at it from the corner of your eye or not directly. 1,400 gold. And Eclipse, you would take notice more than anyone of a large spear up on the wall on these 2 hooks. That's labeled the Battle Spear of Radiance,
What the
which
fuck?
has a haft
Holy
of dark-colored
shit.
wood
Whoa.
with what appears to be veins of a gold metal that wrap around the top portion and into the blade.
Yo.
That's 1950.
Oh my gosh. Holy.
And then there's all the
Buckets.
normal stuff. And if you're try to ask for something, he may have it somewhere. But those are the things that stand out to you and catch your eye.
It's the classic. I'm disinterested. Look over it. Pupils dilate.
Mhm.
What does the circlet do?
Please hold.
Also, I don't know how many Featherfall coins are in here, but I think I will, depending on the situation, buy all of them.
There is a good 20 to 30 in there.
They're so
It's
good,
10.
though.
It's 10.
We
It's 10.
might need them.
You
There's
can use the party fund also, guys.
there's little placards below most of these things. They don't say what I will read you because it's a bunch of
Obviously.
mechanical stuff, but they say some fancy version of what I'll read you. You get the impression as a player of what it says. While wearing this delicately designed silver circlet, you gain a bonus to your passive perception equal to your proficiency bonus, in addition to any bonus you may have for proficiency in perception checks. Additionally, when a creature would hit you with an attack, you can use a reaction to attempt to avoid the hit by rolling a perception check, and if the total is equal to or higher than the total of the attack roll made by the creature, the attack misses. And it can't be used again until a long rest. It's a one-time use.
Whoa.
Damn.
So if I were to wear it, would it not have effect on me because I already have proficiency?
It would have an effect on you, so it would
Wait.
add your proficiency bonus again, essentially.
It's like
God.
expertise to your
I would have
passive.
Basically, yes.
Oh,
Yo, I would have a 22 passive.
Damn.
Platinum is
What is the
10 gold?
Shadows?
10 gold. Okay, I don't think I've added the gold that we got from the
Each
chest.
got 1,000.
Each got 1,000. Okay, then I did not
That's
add.
100
And there's an additional 1,000.
And the party fund.
so we each got 100 platinum.
Because there's only 4 of you right now, and it was
Right.
500 platinum. Yeah.
So, okay. So I didn't add the 100 platinum for me, nor to the party fund.
And
So
what
I'll
was the
add-
extra 1,000?
I'm sorry, I forgot.
What
And
was
then
your
we
question,
had-
Faye?
And then we had an additional 1,000 gold.
Well,
the party fund.
they gave you 500 platinum, so it was 100. You guys divvied it out as 100 each, and then 100 to the party fund. AKA
Oh,
1,000 gold each and 1,000 to the party fund.
I misunderstood. I thought you said an additional 1,000. I was like, for
Okay.
what?
So, for the party fund, why did not save it?
How much was it?
We
This year was
have
1950?
109.
1950, yes.
We have 109 platinum, 410 gold, and 60 silver in the party fund.
How
Little over
many
1,400.
reviving quality items do we have?
We do
A
not
good
need.
amount.
One
Diamond.
each, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot.
Okay.
We got a lot. I have a diamond that's 300. I have a diamond that's 500, and I have the seed.
And then I have a diamond.
And she has a diamond. So we're set. We're good.
I need 734 gold.
For your
I can have
stick?
that. I wanted it.
You
For
sell
your
yours.
Guys,
stick?
look at it.
I'm not. Again,
How
we
how
have
does
plenty-
Eclipse look looking at this spear?
Her eyes are fully dilated. It's like she's
I-
completely distracted.
I'd say I notice. Okay. After we're like, made sure that those are on the tab, I'm like, watching you. I'm gonna like, just pull
Like,
the
she's
little
still
gnome.
standing at the feather coins, and she's probably been mid counting like some to
Hmm.
get, and then she just looked
Just
and
holding-
hasn't looked back at the feather coins.
I'll like wave at the gnome guy.
Yes.
You knew we planned on spending quite a bit of money here, correct?
That was my intention, yes.
We have been known, amongst different magic users in the area and purveyors of goods, to be quite good customers. In fact, we have a testing relationship with a specific artificer out of Leah. So, trust me when I say we use and abuse these things.
Mm.
As you can see, my feline friend here is quite enraptured.
He looks over at Eclipse and then follows her eyes to the spear, and then back to her where her spear is held on her back.
Mhm. Now, I don't know what you'd be willing to do for a group such as us, who would surely return and surely continue to spend our hard-earned gold here. But I think we could meet somewhere in the middle of a number that I'm thinking, and somewhere in the middle of where it's stick-a-dat right now.
I'm open to hearing your number.
I would
Just
like
to
the
be clear,
circuit.
it was the
I'd
Battle
like the
Spear of
circuit,
Radiance, right?
please.
That is
That's-
correct, yes.
I think I just wanted to put that on the table. We do have some other shopping. I think our other friend here is interested in this circlet. So if there was perhaps a larger number of items that we sought to purchase, would we be able to negotiate something based on the total number of items?
Are you suggesting some sort of exclusive patronage deal?
I am suggesting investing in us, knowing that we will be return customers. We also may have some items to trade. I'm not sure if you take anything in trade.
I'm also open to that, depending on what you have.
I can't speak for others, but I know that may be an option.
Well, this is your second time back in the span of... Well, my memory's not very good, but it can't be more than 6 months. Because I don't even remember that far back. That bodes well. Perhaps approach with whatever your complete collection of purchasable items would be. Anything for trade, and we can work out some sort of a arrangement or deal.
Excellent. I think I was just trying to feel out whether or not you'd be interested or amenable to any negotiation.
Always for the right considerations.
What else do we want?
What's the candle of shadows?
What's the candle?
Ooh-wee. Oh, it's not in here yet. The Candle of Shadows essentially it creates a localized darkness spell on the candle, which moves with it if you move once per day.
And what's the Cloak of Shadows?
The Cloak of Shadows is literally a cloak of elven kind, but renamed because this world's not so racially specific.
Ah. And the wrist pocket ring just lets you cast wrist pocket?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I like that.
That's cool.
Does anyone have anything they don't need?
I don't need
No.
this. I really don't. The one I have has way better utility. This is just...
You're enraptured.
I fucking...
What does it do?
It does a lot! It does a lot of damage if
she
I get
needs
something
this.
right, dude.
She
I'm
needs
just
this.
denying it. I'm just
What is
like,
it called?
It's called
You
the
gain
Battle
a
Spear of Radiance.
+1 bonus
Yeah.
to attack and damage rolls, and when you score a critical
Whoa.
hit while making a melee attack, the creature must make a Constitution saving throw as the spear flares with radiant light. On a failed save, it takes 4d6 radiant damage and is blinded until the end of its
$4d6?
next
It's a
turn.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, she needs that.
And you're blind.
And
Yeah.
and it's
We
a-
need her
it's a
to have
D8.
that.
Pretty, and it's
D6.
pretty.
Dude, it would go with the shield. Guys, I'm
Uh-huh.
just saying.
No, we're there. I
We're
agree.
gonna get it. We're gonna
What's
get
happening?
What is... Okay.
There is a mental image of how this is going to go down for Eclipse. So
What attachment do you have to your current spear? Is that one that was a gift from someone? Is that something that
I think
you'd
it's
be
just the one
willing?
I've had, but that is also the one that I can make it make a noise within like 600.
Mm.
It's a good. I don't want to get rid of it.
is,
Yeah,
is that
okay.
one attunement?
No, I just have
Easy.
it. Yeah.
Keep it.
Mhm.
We'll spare that.
Oh
bit.
yeah. It's what was it? I can.
Spear.
Yeah, provided the
work.
creature's within 600 feet
Right.
of me, I can mentally make a noise to somebody. It's a huge.
Oh, that's what it
utility.
does. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm willing to just dump money. I don't care.
I am a sucker for utility items. That Candle of Shadows is interesting as well.
What did that one do again?
Creates a darkness spell localized on the candle.
Ooh.
So if you move with the candle, the darkness moves.
Which ya boy can see through.
Oh shit.
Magical darkness?
Valid.
Okay, Warlock.
Okay.
But yeah, as of right now, I have 1,216. So I would just need another 730, 740.
I will give you the extra 375 that was in the clothing budget that we didn't spend.
Okay.
That's right. You do have that extra money as well.
Mm-hmm.
That works. And then
So that goes down to 359. So like 360.
you can take the gold. Because we have 400.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
instead of the
10
platinum
gold.
for the party fund?
Yeah, there's
The-
1,000. There's 109 platinum, and then there's 410 gold.
We're doing that thing
So-
where we're like splitting a bill at a restaurant. We're
Mhm.
furiously writing on a napkin on like the
Yeah.
other
Yep.
table.
You need
Last
to
four
keep
digits of the credit card is spending this
Yeah.
much.
You need to keep at least like 30 gold though for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to have some.
Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah,
So
if the 410's in there, then the spear is
Yeah.
basically covered at that point.
Yeah.
so 1950 plus.
And that spear is
The
very
circlet.
much a party thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an
Dude,
investment
the
in
blind
us staying
alone
alive.
is like, what?
That's huge.
I kind of
the
want
extra
the
data.
wrist rocket pocket, the ring. That seems useful. I have a sleight of hand modifier. And you want the candle?
I would like the candle.
Okay.
Candle.
And
I
then.
will be right back. One second.
Okay, I'm gonna do some math.
Worth noting, Megan,
Hmm.
this ring is slightly nerfed from the spell wrist pocket.
Mhm.
It allows you to cast a lesser version of it. When it's cast in this way, the duration is reduced to a maximum of 1 minute, requiring concentration, and it can be used once per long rest.
What is the
So-
mass of the item that can be stored?
That is the same as wrist pocket, which is weigh no more than 5 pounds
Okay. But you can hide something
for a minute.
for a minute.
Oh,
What happens after that minute?
Does
Just what?
Yeah, it plops out.
Oh, it comes out.
Mhm.
I thought it stayed in and then you could get it later.
It appears in your space at your feet.
Hmm. Okay.
In this version of the spell, that happens after 1 minute. In
So
normal
it's a
spell,
good
an
it's a
hour.
good small heist tool to
Mhm.
get in and get out.
I don't know.
But it's not something to carry around.
Is it attunement?
No.
Okay.
That helps. What is everyone's attuned items?
I'm full. I'm full with one that I can swap out.
I
have-
am not full. I have a space.
I have one. Is the circlet attunement, I'm assuming?
Because
I have one more that I can fill.
I do believe it is.
It sounds like it would be.
It is, yes. Requires it to.
Okay.
I have my cloak, the pearl, and the primer, and then I have the circlet from the Warforged. What do they call them?
Assassins.
Yeah.
I have the Lux Stone and an Astral Shard.
Mm-hmm.
I have the guardian emblem and the pocket knife, which you guys will only get away from me and my cold dead body.
Mm.
Another reason to kill Brightwing.
Mm,
Does anyone have anything they need to offload? Are we happy with what we currently own?
I mean, as far as items that we have that's expendable, I hate to say it, but it might be Joe. Be the only real one.
I just sell Joe.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying if there were items.
Is Edgeworth with you, or did you leave him at the?
Oh,
The
Edgeworth
estate.
is like in the greenhouse of the estate,
Okay.
just vibing.
He's balling.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
We're renegotiating giving them Edgeworth because that's not happening.
No,
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 They were
Joe.
negotiating giving them Joe.
Oh. I mean, yeah. Didn't one of us have Joe?
No, Edgeworth. Oh no, I have
Brightwing
Joe.
had
You
Joe.
have
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, right.
I have
Yeah.
Joe right now.
Oh.
He's on my head.
Uh huh.
Yeah. They chilling.
So what is he? Like a.
He's a wreath, right?
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
golden wreath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that tracks.
Oh yeah, because we had you do string.
Olympian wreath.
Yep.
Grease.
I could.
I
part
need it to
with Joe.
change because this only brings up the princess vibes. This needs to get off my head before we have dinner with Ray.
That's true.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
it's worth mentioning it. He is valuable, but we're quite a diverse group.
yeah, and I think it's distracting that you're like the hat, for example. Like it. This is the least the most nondescript thing that it turns into. Everything else is like distractingly noticeable.
Mm.
So while it's cool, it's not very utilitarian in like cities.
It has helped a bit for little situations, but I think our skill sets are diverse enough.
Is it
I
worth
think it
morale
would-
boost?
It is. Also, I think it keeps Edgeworth under wraps.
Hmm.
I think the gold amount that it would be worth is dependent on that. We could get an appraisal.
Okay.
And if you need a little bit of an extra bargaining chip, perhaps he'd be interested in taking a little look at, and he'll point to his ear where the astral shard is hovering. Just to pique his own interest.
Well, you're
Not
not.
to give.
But you're not going to trade it, are you?
No, of course not. But if
make
it's
one.
something that he'd like to look into and perceive, maybe worth some coin.
Oh.
Joe, are you okay if we sell you?
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Do you take him off?
Yes.
Okay. You don't hear anything after
You put him on?
Just,
No!
just
I have not ever
Hey,
put Joe on.
Oh.
a fee for him to take a peek.
I like Joe.
I do too, but
I have. Okay. So we'll collect. This is an idea. I'll collect all of the items: the spear, the ring, the circlet, and the candle, and our bright balls. And approach the counter.
is there a
Okay.
chance of featherfall coins?
Oh, it's with featherfall coins. How much is the featherfall coins?
They're a
have any
dollar a
left?
piece.
How many do we want?
I also have the spell. We don't need a mess load of them.
But the
There's-
utility.
They're valuable. They're
Yeah,
very
they
I would
saved
okay.
our
How
asses.
there's
There's like 25.
Oh.
there's. I'd
We
say
could have two
2
each.
for each. That's what I was
Yeah,
Oh.
that could be
Cool.
a good plan.
Okay.
Because again, we don't know what's
Make it
gonna
10
happen.
because
ever.
round number.
Fine.
We'll take
And
10.
to give to a
And-
friend later on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's actually not a bad idea.
No, we're not.
Making
do it.
friends,
You
we
don't know
don't
what-
do that.
I don't know
What the
what
bright balls
friends
are
we can
for.
make.
Bright balls make friends. Feather coins protect friends. That's,
Hey,
This
what
is
if we're
how
on
we
a
work.
sky ship and we fall off?
that's what I'm
True.
saying. We
Don't
need
recommend.
these.
Okay. I will approach Mr. Whistledust.
Okay. Have you collected all these things?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not holding them though. They're like they're
Okay.
very
They're in those little
meticulously.
baskets. They're like,
Yeah.
Well, the spear is
The
The
definitely
spear.
not.
Spear's still on the wall.
Those little like grocery store baskets.
yeah.
Hmm.
Self checkout.
What's your traffic like here through this store?
Bustling.
What is the what is the percentage of people that buy anything?
Well, it can depend on when and whomst. There is a gala this weekend that brings quite a few, let's say, deeply pocketed individuals. So this is typically a good time of year for me. Why do you ask?
Interesting lately.
I was curious. We have an item. These are the items that we would like, but we have an item that I think would help with a little bit of foot traffic for you, but you don't seem to struggle with that. We've acquired this item, and I'll lay the. If it's still a circlet, or did it convert back into a wizard's hat?
It stays what it is when whatever you last use.
This on.
He looks at you very suspiciously.
Can I identify it first?
You may, of course you may. However, I think you would enjoy the surprise. My friend has been wearing it. I assure you it is not dangerous.
Roll a persuasion check.
With advantage because I'm negotiating a deal.
Yes.
Everyone has these fun little things.
Oh, it's really bad. That might be the worst persuasion check I've ever rolled.
89.
18.
Oh my
It's only a
god.
47. I don't know what happened. My hand slipped.
It's a single
Sorry,
digit.
guys.
All right.
Looks over at the Soul Forge.
If I turn into something, get them out of here.
Odds on it.
His eyes go massive.
You call him Joe?
Shush!
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Now say something.
Mm-hmm.
You see him moving his mouth. He seems to get the impression, and apparently the result, that he doesn't have to talk out loud. He's just thinking it.
We never got
But-
that.
Nope.
Mhm.
But is moving his mouth as he does, slightly.
Most curious. Are you willing to part with this?
We are. I guess the suggestion that we had was that perhaps it. Of course, you could resell it, but think of the return in value if you just had it in the store and charged for people to use it and talk to him. The novelty of a talking hat.
His
Especially
eyes
with
go
the-
big again.
With the gala in town this week, you could charge 10 gold a head.
That is quite astute. Are you a business person?
Not professionally, but I come from business people.
I have been on the lookout for some marketing help.
Hmm.
I wonder if you might consult.
I.
However, this seems like I would be interested. Is this a trade proposition?
Yes, for the low cost of our friend Joe and 2,000 gold.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. So, you're getting bright balls,
Uh-huh.
spear,
Uh-huh.
candle,
Yeah?
Don't think
ring,
$2,000 is
no
gonna
ring.
cut it,
Okay.
guys.
circlet.
Mm-hmm.
But the intention is he would make that money back just on novelty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fine. How do... can I... I never really tried to appraise Joe. But I guess I really wouldn't have ever come in contact with anything like this.
You wouldn't. If you want to roll an Arcana check, you can, because
Okay.
you've been in high society and known people and purchased things, and you know about spells. You might be able to put together a rough idea.
Okay.
If,
I'm gonna add
it's
it.
decently high DC, but
I'll use a
Keep in mind
charge.
the discount we'd get for the large quantity anyway.
Yeah. At least like Joe for that spear.
26.
26.
I got an
That
18
beats
and a
the
3 on the
DC.
charge, and I have
Wow.
proficiency.
Okay. You are able to very accurately pin down, based off your understanding of spells in this realm or range, and what the items that would typically be enchanted in this way might go for. You figure it would probably be somewhere between 1 and 200 gold. Is what it would go for on the market.
Okay. My offer stands.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Does some quick math with all the things you've brought.
that would be a steep price for this thing.
Not if you consider the return on your investment.
It is not typical for items like this to have sentience. I will admit that. $23.50.
You don't have to be a business person to say that barely accounts for the discount of buying in bulk.
21. And the potential for future marketing assistance.
Potential?
I will give you my contact information so that we may discuss case by case in the future.
Do you provide this assistance to any other purveyors of magical goods and otherwise?
Not marketing assistance.
Testing assistance, yes.
Curious. Are you developers?
It's a favor for a favor in kind. We requested a specific item made. He needed crash test dummies.
Do you intend to profit from this? Sell it somewhere?
Which item?
The one you are working on?
Once we receive confirmation that it works, it will be privately used until it is produced to a quantity in which it could be available for sale, but which could be a long game. In which case I would be willing to discuss a partnership at that point. You don't even know what the item is!
That's true. But I do like new ideas and access to unique items. 2,100 and a potential promise of future business, you say?
And marketing advice.
And marketing advice.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
$27.
Go.
All right. Done! If this or any future items, whatever it is you're working on, come to fruition, I would largely appreciate first glance at potential distribution.
Of course.
All right. 2,100 it is, and the hat.
Mage hand over to the wall, grabbing the spear,
Okay.
lightly lifting up, and then going around the side of Eclipse with the other two hands lighting bright balls as the spear slowly comes to her.
It's that gif of when you put the flower on the cat. It just like sinks into itself. Yeah. She's just sensory overload. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Can
So
I,
how much?
Can I say
are
goodbye?
Yeah, we should say
Can
bye
she
to
say
him.
goodbye?
To the hat?
I would like to.
No funny business.
She's not capable of
Hands it over
I
to
made
you.
joke.
it.
I did it right.
You could ask him to help you with something before you leave. That'd be quite fun.
I've already used him today.
Oh, fair.
Put Joe back
Mm-hmm.
on.
Is this a new member of the group?
No, it's still me.
No, I mean that
Oh,
curious old man.
Joe. The curious old man is going to be your new keeper.
Oh, I see.
Yes. But from what I understand, you're going to be able to meet a lot more people this way.
All right. Well, I've made my way around before, so shouldn't be too odd. I appreciate your short stint.
It was very fun. Thank you for giving me strength. I've never had it before.
You are quite welcome.
I'll be sure to tell Edgeworth bye for you. Since you
Right,
two got
yes.
along very well.
He has some curious ideas.
I
A
am
lot
sure.
going on in that, whatever it is.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. And I wish you well.
Safe travels.
Take Joe up. Give Joe back.
Flinnan takes it back, looks at it closely, looks at you.
All right.
2,100 gold.
Okay. Yeah.
Where
Well,
has that? Yeah, I guess we'll decide like how that's taken out of people's stuff later.
Yeah, we can kind of play with the numbers.
Did we get feather coins too? Was that part
Yes,
of
we
the-
got 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
9 bright balls, 10 feather coins, a candle, a circlet, a ring, and a spear.
And I think everybody's adding
And a
2 feather
partridge
coins
and a
then
pear tree.
True. Feather tokens, and then 2 are extra.
Yes.
One talking hat.
Oh, haha. I typed in feather token and there's like 100 of them.
Yeah, there's one at the very, very top. It's like white. I think that's the one
When
you're
they
looking
don't stack.
for. Mm.
Oh no.
What is this ring
Oh
called?
my god,
Ring
this
of...
fucking thing is
Wrist
also not
pocket ring.
attunement. Oh my god.
Wrist pocket ring. Whoever bought the Candle of Shadows, that is not in D&D Beyond yet. So make something as a placeholder and yell at me if I don't make it for you.
Candle. That's my placeholder.
The
A dark
anti-lamp.
one. I'm gonna call it Darth Candle
True.
Darth King.
Dwarf Campbell.
because I'm a nerd.
I'm happy for you.
Mhm.
What's the circlet called again?
Circlet of Vigilance.
A vigilance. Yo, okay.
Okay. So I'm deleting this 375 gold out of for the that was left over from the wardrobe fund.
I'll write that down at the bottom.
Yeah,
of
will you?
the,
Okay.
the allocation later. It's in my notes.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Are we allowed to attune to it? Even though it's not been an hour, but we will have it.
When you have essentially a short rest worth of time, you can.
Okay. But can I push the button to attune to it now?
You can if some passive perception thing comes up in the next however long it takes you to walk home or where you're going, then it might not apply. But yeah,
Okay, that's fair.
you can.
I'll wait.
It's more likely that it won't, so go for it.
Okay.
Well, that was definitely worth it.
I agree.
I also agree.
Thank you.
Come back anytime.
And
Preferably
thank you.
sooner than later.
Thank you again for staying open late for us. I told you it'd be worth it.
Puts the Joe on and seems to sort of wander off aimlessly talking to himself, though you know it to be talking to
Aw.
Joe.
5 gold says that he keeps that on, and the next time we come back, he's still wearing it.
I mean, he's a good.
10 gold
Companion.
says wizard hat when we come back.
Yeah.
I think there's some.
That's the intelligence one.
Hmm.
I meant the hat in general, but okay, 5 for the hat. 10 if it's the wizard's hat.
We'll take that.
Okay.
Bet.
That.
I'm gonna
Word.
carefully, when we're not around too many people, try to flourish this thing and see if it's as balanced as the other one.
Give me a. Just add your strength and your proficiency, so essentially an attack roll with a +1.
It's just the strength mod, not the saving throw, right?
Correct.
I think it's 16?
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you step out and are in a widely open area of street, you give it a few whirls. Your spear, the spear you've had was likely acquired from the same armorers and weaponsmiths who make stuff for the Ivory Guard in Leah. And it has a small enchantment, though not particularly exuberant or costly by any means. You get the sense pretty quickly here, and you might have gotten an initial sense anyways from the cost. This is actually quite a bit finer of a weapon than the one you've had.
Oh, sure.
The balance is exceptional. The heft, you can tell, is very powerful, and you feel a slight, almost like warmth in it when your hands grip it.
She just smiles.
Y'all like a good hat.
Heft.
Heft.
I'll put it and keep the other one kind of crisscrossed on my back.
Okay.
Mm.
Doable.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
With like the
Don't
shield.
try to roll.
on
Yeah.
top. Yo.
Don't
Yeah.
try to fucking
That's
roll.
slick. That's so slick.
You're gonna turtle yourself.
No, you just side roll. It's fine.
There you go. Yeah. Barrel roll.
Don't
Yeah.
don't
Barrel
backflip
roll.
or front flip.
Well, no.
Oh dang.
I don't think she's
Once you
ever
get
done
enough
that
clearance.
shit anymore.
Yeah.
Mm. Back to the house.
I think we've done enough.
Getting
for
kind of
one day.
hungry. Yeah, I think it's been a day. Is
There.
it still today? We just.
Still today.
Okay. Yeah,
Long day.
long day.
Mm-hmm.
Been a good day.
Yeah, just like a 3-day stay.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
My dudes. Alright.
You guys head up to the estate?
Yep.
Okay. Make your way back with your passes for the lifts, and eventually through the gates, into the house. You have not eaten, is my understanding. Okay.
Since breakfast.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Longest day.
It has been a very long day. Carlina finds you not long after you enter.
Oh, you're all back. Dinner, perhaps?
Dinner, please.
Any particular requests?
No. Something without meat for
What about fish?
Fish. I was actually thinking the same. Fish.
I believe we have some fresh salmon recently brought in. We could do that.
Mmm.
Anything
I don't know
else?
if I have salmon. We've had trout at home, but I don't know if I've ever had salmon.
Not entirely dissimilar, but its own fish.
Do we have any like a spicy chili sauce or anything to go with that?
Well, one of Rafe's favorite versions is a sort of spicy sweet chili rub.
Mmm.
Would that work?
Cool.
All right. That, perhaps some asparagus.
Mmm. With
Wine.
holidays.
Excellent. I'll fill out the rest.
Okay.
Perhaps in about an hour at the most. It's rather late, I know.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
She scurries off. Anything specific you guys want to do while you wait?
I'll go look outside out back at a statue.
Is it
Okay.
still
There are
there?
still rings.
You can
Sure.
certainly acquire them.
Wait, they're up there?
They're not. No, they're not up there.
I didn't think they
that's
would
what I
be.
wanted to
No,
know.
there are servants who clean those up the day after, probably the day of. But you can acquire them.
I'll just have to try harder.
They will go, like, have followed you out and reach behind, like, next to the house, next to the same bush without looking and pull them back out.
Yep.
They tried to make pegs for them in the shed and we just kept moving them here, so unofficially, officially, they're home now.
It's a way to adapt. Take one.
All right. Does everyone grab one?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Fan them out. There's 4.
Mhm. Go for it.
What is gold
But-
again?
Furthest object.
It's
Whichever
more
side
points
you get.
depending on where it lands. On the head is 5. On any outstretched limb is 2. You see Rafe walking up with a glass of wine, unsurprisingly. If any of them have like a knee up and you landed on the knee, that's, I believe, 6 because it's special.
These are special.
Well, it's just harder to land on. It's got a weird angle.
10 if you landed on Rafe.
Not true? And I want next.
Well,
All right.
I'll reach into
Roll.
my pack because I
Oh.
think they're these were the boys growing up. So there was only ever 4 rings, and it was not often that we were all ever here. So we were made do with 4 rings. However, I will take out the paint and make a 5th ring.
Aww.
Oh, shoot.
That's really sweet.
Okay.
And this
Wraith-
one will have like, because they're all kind of like a ring with like a little cutout in the middle for like aerodynamics, and his will have like little wavies on it and like kind of like waves.
Okay. He watches with a slowly ever increasing eyebrow. And then it finishes and solidifies and becomes an actual object. You know, Mother always said, oh yes, the arts can be a useful job. You can make tons of money. I never really believed it. Well, I mean, some people can, but it's very rare. That is a useful trick. Takes it. Spins it. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it.
All right.
Go for
What is
it.
it?
Roll
What is it again?
with add your dex,
Okay.
not your proficiency.
Okay.
And what are you aiming for? You
Apparently
name the,
the
statue.
ground. Roll a 6.
Okay. You send one flying towards this particularly tall statue of what looks like a Greek goddess type figure with a flowing robe. And it just sails over it by a good like 3 feet, and not knowing your own strength, continues on and like 20 or 30 feet down past it into a small pond.
I look at it like I've achieved a goal.
Plus, we get a disc golf.
Yeah, Just.
There was an alternate version where we tried to throw it the farthest. That might be more your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'll show you.
As
Takes
he
Oh?
steps up, I'm going to
Oh?
slowly slink away once he puts his focus down wherever he's throwing.
Okay. He takes a gulp of wine, steps up, takes aim, wobbles slightly. Are you trying to do something?
As he throws, I'm going to try to throw mine around his heel as it leaves the ground.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. Roll. I will say. Roll the same check. Roll it with Dex. The
I'm
DC
going
is
to
going to be a
use
little
my
different.
inspiration for this.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Nice.
Okay, and I will roll for
Great
him
use.
with disadvantage, but plus proficiency. Oh! What'd you roll?
That's Dex with proficiency or not?
No, not with proficiency. You've never done this before. It's
Right.
an improvised thing for you.
24.
Okay. With disadvantage, he rolled a 21.
Got 20 word.
He is proficient, so. With a very initially calculated and then like over exaggerated amount of grace with the back foot sticking way out like a bowler, he flings it out and you easily just flick the disc onto his ankle. Halfway down from his move, it lands on this figure with its finger pointing up in the air like a Socrates situation. Ha! And then realizes what's happened as his feet comes down, looks at it hanging on his foot, lifts his foot up, turns around.
And that
10 points. Golf clap.
Well, you know what? I respect it enough. Fair. I believe that's 5 for me, though.
On a
Who's
hand.
next? Well, that's a particular fancy finger.
2 points for hands, 5 points for heads. You wrote these rules.
Well, I was hoping you forgot them.
You just
2
said them.
points for me. Looks at you, Brightwing, as you say that. All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Roll a dex check.
Her face looks exactly like that when
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
Like the person that walks up and bowls like between their legs, like.
Mm. And I toss it, sir.
And I
Toss
toss it,
it, sir.
sir. I rolled. Can I do guidance?
Yes, you can guide yourself beforehand. This is a check.
Ooh. Okay.
Hmm.
19.
Okay. What are you aiming for?
A knee? I don't know.
Okay, a 19 will get you a knee. There is this warrior figure, very much Hercules when he's got Scar on his head and is holding the sword out with one knee up. And it boom, 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 lands on the knee. Rafe looks at you. Might have to have a tournament. Perhaps if we get the family in here for dinner one night. I don't know if the tiresome trio would be down for it, but
That is rude. They're old.
well, they're very old and
They have
very
earned
stuffy.
the right to be tired.
Well, I'm getting up there. I'm not tiresome.
Not yet.
All right, your shot.
Alright. I'm gonna aim for one where it's like a parent holding a kid like up in the air and like
Ooh.
the one of the foots on the little kid.
Okay.
So just
You add your dex and your proficiency.
okay.
The Rosewood kids are proficient in statue rings.
Oh. 17?
Yeah, 17
Okay.
is enough. Land it perfectly.
19. Yeah, great.
Even better. Well, this is quite the accomplished group. We might be able to start some sort of professional team.
Is there
This
a
is a
sport for this?
profession.
I mean, there's not yet. But there are weirder sports out there that people gather to watch all the time.
Imagine something like Capture the Flag being very popular.
My ears. Are
Hey,
blocked
that is a
down.
very sacred game for my people, alright? It is a very. It is training. It is not even game.
Sarcasm, Brightwing. I'm sorry.
Traveling Cathian statue ring
Disturbing.
toss troupe.
Perhaps.
Doesn't sound terribly profitable.
Well, no. But it would be fun, which is more important.
Hmm. I
In my
agree.
philosophy. I heard
You're
we're having
drinking
red
it.
rub salmon for dinner. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Glorious.
We've been on trail rations for the last week. Well, not trail rations, but trail food. Ugh.
He kind of looked to the rest of you. Rather surprising. She wasn't the most, well, she was rather picky. Has that improved?
What do you think that says about us?
Has she been eating you?
What?
Anyways, I'm all ears to hear about whatever else has been going on. It sounds like it's been quite a, well, an adventure, I suppose.
Quite. Oh shoot. I'll pull out like the little sketchbook that I've been like kind of putting like the highlights in. And just kind of point stuff out and like pull out like as we kind of meander inside, I'll pull out like the Kruthic tooth, or I think I have an egg shard from a Kruthic, and I have a tooth from a giant crocodile, and I have a tentacle nubbin from the Displacer Beast, and like go through a lot of like the early days,
Okay.
and tell them about the trip to Raygrove and the hag and the boat ride and getting covered in mud and mostly that little arc.
Okay. We'll say that you finish basically that arc before dinner is served.
Mm-hmm.
Anthara
up to you-
recaps with Faye.
Huh? Yeah.
Anthara recaps with
Yep.
Faye.
Talking Anthara, episode 1 before dinner.
Right.
Episode 2 after dinner. This is what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you the recipe for this because it's something that I make. It is a lot of butter and brown sugar, cayenne pepper, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, dry mustard, chili powder, paprika, white pepper, kosher salt, dry thyme, cumin, and allspice. And it is a explosion of spicy, sweet flavor. Very much like a barbecue almost kind of thing, but with more of that spice, but that similar like sweet spice combo sort of thing. There's some fresh asparagus, a salad, a green salad.
You say it's a
And
rub? Because that's a
wine.
lot of dry stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's a rub.
For some reason in my head I had it as like a paste, but okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it forms like a little bit of a crust.
Yeah.
God, I want to
Add it to the cookbook, Brian.
Well, I'm not that fast at typing, but if it's something he makes regularly, I'm gonna hit him for it. It sounds like something.
Yeah, I
that
will.
involves smoked
I
meats.
just made it the other day, actually.
Tasty.
Do you tell him more of the story over dinner? How much do you impart?
I think. Oh God. I mean, I think at some point he would ask the obvious question. 'Cause he's the only one of the family that knows.
Oh, how did you die?
Mhm.
Yes, he definitely asks that. Well, he waits for you to get to it naturally, but if you don't get to it naturally, he will ask it at some point.
Yeah, I think it would be like after that it would just be like a little bit of highlight reels and like dancing around it.
Okay.
Just trying to
After
keep it light.
Some pause that has gotten decently far in was still without the explanation. You sent a message at some point with some rather grave tidings. Where does that fit in?
We received news in Alea, in the middle of the night, of an attack at a place of knowledge. One of the people that runs that place is very important to one of my friends. So we took off immediately, and when we arrived, there were... Rafe, I've never seen statues like what we have outside come to life and smack my friends before. And vases throwing themselves. It was absolutely harebrained.
That would make the statue ring game more difficult.
Really, quite, yes.
Worth
Anyway.
for the league. Continue.
We had a friend there who was quite magically talented. Sometimes when she casts spells, other things happen, random effects. It's the nature of her magic, and one of those random effects was that I was able to fly for a moment, and we were racing to try to get to this important figure. Once we entered the building, we were stopped in one of the corridors by more, what were they, giant statues or suits of armor?
Some were
Giant
armor, others were
statues.
drums.
Okay. Yeah. I think the drum was you.
I
That
had
is-
a drum, but there were also drums.
I thought they were
I was
tables.
beating a drum while we were beating a drum.
Yeah. We knew that we wouldn't all get through, but at least someone could. So I did. I was invisible and flying and unable to be seen and very hard to catch. So I took off ahead of the group.
Invisible and flying.
Yeah, the invisibility was something else.
Combo.
Yeah, if I was more martially inclined, it'd be really terrifying, but I'm just me. So, I reached the room first, and when I opened the door, didn't see anything right away, except, evidence of a struggle. I popped my head in to try to get a better view, and, well, I'll pull my collar aside and show him the...
You hear an intake of breath and there's like almost always this very slight upturn to Rafe's mouth because he's just such a happy-go-lucky figure, and you see it harden, which is not common. Do you know who it was?
I do. And I got
They
my
still out
revenge.
there. Oh.
Well, we all did, but there was some catharsis in having the final blow in that fight.
And when it happened, you died.
Yeah. Probably gone for like, I don't know, 10 minutes? Thank God I
How?
dropped my loot, otherwise Eclipse never would have found me. I was still invisible, you see.
Was it? Did you experience anything? It was. Do you
It
remember?
was- It was dark. Kind of felt like floating out in the ether, but I don't think I had time to go very far. My friends found me quickly, and Brightwing is a talented healer, and I heard my friends beckoning. Oh God, call it a soul, whatever it is inside, back to my body. I got a second chance. I don't think I would have found it otherwise. Kind of easy to get lost in there.
And you're still out there. He glances over at you, Brightwing. Raises his glass. suppose all the Rosewoods are in your debt.
Oh, no. Resurrection magic is a tricky thing. It's not. From what I understand, you come in this world as much as my own. But difference is, even to call a soul back, it is their choice to come back. I merely helped open the door for her to choose. The Wilds thought she had much more life to live.
Is that, who you worship?
Yes.
Well, never considered myself much of a religious man. It doesn't really jive with my lifestyle, but I suppose if I'm ever in dire need, I'll remember that. The Wilds. Do they listen to old, high Cathian-born uppity-ups?
I would think they would. We're a part of it. All connected to life.
Well, at the very least, you connected my sister with her life again, so thank you.
You are welcome.
And, is this something I should expect to hear often? It was rather jarring, as I'm sure you can understand.
I was under the effects of hallucinogens when I sent you that. I apologize.
Well, I can't judge you for that. That would be the very black pot calling the kettle black.
Hmm.
I do not wish to perform such a spell again. But I wish my spells to be used before a need is needed. I'm sorry I was not able to do that before I needed to use it.
And, these sorts of figures, are they likely to crop up again? Are you at odds with dangerous people?
Not presently. It could happen in the future, but right now we are taking a bit of a rest.
Good. I imagine you haven't told mother and father.
Nope. Nor anyone else, to be fair. So keep that between us.
Well, I don't know whether to be honored or not, given it was under the effects of hallucinogen that it happened, but I guess fair enough. If I was to die and suddenly be summoned back to life, I certainly wouldn't tell mother and father. I likely wouldn't tell the others. I'd get an earful, I'm sure.
No, and I think you're the only one that I didn't have fear of a ball and chain attached to my foot. I'd be
Well,
on
I'm
the first
tempted.
boat. I'd be on the first ship back to Restalios.
If I had a ball and chain that would fit, I'd try, but I know better.
Hmm.
You all... That's your responsibility, I suppose.
Ball and chain?
Well, keeping her safe at least. I suppose more of a shield than a ball and chain in this case. Glances specifically at Eclipse.
We keep
Eclipse
each
has
other safe.
looked very distant and very quiet the entire conversation. I think once she realized how vague Faye's being on purpose, she intentionally does not chime in any way.
Okay. And the gala now. That's certainly a far cry from blades of assassins in the dark of night. What's your business there? Are you just going for fun?
Variety is the spice of life, Rafe.
Well, no one needs to hear that less than I. All right. You see a bit of sibling intuition, getting the sense there might be more to the story that you're withholding, but no push.
Hmm.
Well, that's quite a lot for a short period of time. I try to jam quite a bit into short periods of time, and I don't think I've ever had death and all the conquerings of evil you've had.
I don't mean this as a brag. I'm not trying to make you jealous in some way of this new life that I've seemed to have acquired, but I think I'm trying to find something to take back to them. I think the more I tell it, the more I fine-tune it. So thank you for listening.
They did always tell us stories of what they wished were there.
Hmm.
Have you told them at all what you're engaged in?
To mother a bit here and there, but it's difficult. You know how she is.
Yes.
She's on this new kick with her vineyard. You've really got to be face to face with her for anything to stick.
Even then, it has to be quite the story to get her attention. Though, in fairness, this one certainly is. Well, I certainly hope that you're all still around to tell it in full whenever you decide it's ready. Try not to cut it too close too often. I suppose you can't promise that, can you?
I'm afraid not.
Well, somber stories do not make good pre-bed dinners. I propose a drinking game, or perhaps a lighter story. Or both. What say you?
Are you volunteering the lighter story?
I'm sure I could think of one.
Mentioned a partner for the gala. Would how you met them fall under that category?
I wouldn't consider it that intriguing. Just a similarly high society Cathian lobbyist. I don't tend to settle down very often. I don't know how much Faye has told you, but As she says, the variety is the spice of life. I met him at something similar to this, actually. The galas at his. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I was on the arm of some other woman at the time.
Just some? No one in particular?
It's hard to keep track.
Oh, gee.
There are a lot of people in the world. And who am I to restrict myself to learning the glories and beauties of just one? That's what I say.
I don't begrudge you your choice.
Perhaps somebody will sweep me off my feet one day and I won't be able to resist, but hasn't happened yet. I'm very nimble.
I don't know. He hasn't caught you with his ring earlier, so you're not
That's
that nimble.
true. Well, I get the sense he might be even more nimble than I.
Yeah.
What is it you all did before this, I'm curious to know? It's a rather unique profession you've picked up these past months.
Really good at standing in the same place all day.
That does not surprise me. Hope you won't take that as an insult.
Call me a traveler.
So this lifestyle is normal to you then?
In a fashion. Same sights, different angle.
I guess you could say I was apprentice.
I thought you were a princess. It's quite
Oh.
different. Words are close in our
It's a
No.
dialect.
language, but
She has harder times with the sound.
I'm not a princess. No.
looked at you, Faye.
She's a princess to us.
That's very kind, but I am a healer, but I was a student before I left to follow what the wilds were bringing me towards, and they brought me towards Yasnit first.
Fair enough. Alright, what is it then? Drinks or story?
I'm struggling to think of a positive story. So perhaps drinks. Unless
I have a
someone else
story that
has.
can be told over drinks.
Oh,
Alright. But it's going to be a game.
Sure,
In between rounds. Yes?
of course.
Haha! Pulls out a series of cups that are in each other like Russian nesting dolls. Curious, you have not seen them. And we will take a break there. bringing it back. So, Rafe pulls out from under the table where he's clearly been keeping for this moment this series of cups, one inside the other, and then from inside a breast pocket of his jacket, a deck of playing cards, slaps it down, undoes the lid, pulls them out, starts shuffling. All right. Here's how the game works. We each draw a card. Lowest to highest, and as he's doing this, he takes each of the cups out and lays them out. And you can see each one, obviously being inside each other, is a little bit smaller than the last. Highest drinks the least, lowest drinks the most.
How is he
Whatever lasts
shuffling
the
these cards?
longest.
Is he bridge shuffling? Is he
Yes.
like...
Poker dealer shuffling. You
Okay.
can tell he's been in casinos. He might have even worked a job at a casino once if he ever needed the money, which has probably never been the case.
I'm just saying, like, if he looks like he's fumbling cards around, if he looks like he's doing anything
Roll a
wacky
perception
with
check.
them. Okay.
Roll a perception check.
Does my passive 22 perception see anything?
It would be
It
activated
would.
by now because you could have attuned to it through dinner, and it would apply here.
That is a 19.
Okay. Both of you watch and see nothing untoward. And get the sense that he cares more about everybody getting drunk than he does about winning in any particular sense. So,
Oh yeah, I just wanted to see, based on his reputation.
obviously, larger the glass, the harder it is to stay in. Whoever stays in the longest wins. And when you're eliminated, whoever had the highest card that round gets to ask you a question. You have
To be
answer it
out to be asked a
truthfully.
question.
When you're eliminated.
Mm.
Everybody in.
Yeah.
Looks poignantly at you, Brightwing, to make sure you're down for this.
You don't have to.
You
No,
don't,
you
don't want to.
technically.
No judgment.
No, I will participate.
All right. Here we go then. Shuffles the cards a couple more times, fans them out. All right. Everybody roll a D100.
What if we
There's
actually have a deck of
52.
cards?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I was
what if
gonna say
I
I
have,
have cards.
Well, then you'd have to deal it for everybody.
Okay.
Unless
yeah.
everybody has a deck of cards. Although then
Well,
we
we
can
might
also
get
draw the
duplicate
same,
cards.
and there's
I-
within suit.
The odds.
I have 2 decks of cards. I could have one for Leah if she doesn't have a deck of cards. You're
But we
muted.
would
You
end
are
up drawing the
muted,
same card.
But we'll
I think
use
is the
we'll
problem.
use dice. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so you
okay.
Just
said
to keep
D100.
things simple. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
D100.
not muted. I just said it very softly.
Okay.
I'm
Ooh.
barely speaking. I cannot hear the words.
Are we going in order or?
Yeah, we'll go around in order. So the order is, we'll go by the stream or video. Rafe, Brightwing, Faye, Eclipse, Nas. Rafe
Okay,
rolled a
so we'll go clockwise.
22. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, not good from Rafe.
Oh, I see. So instead of it being a card, we're just going off the number and pretending
Yeah.
it's a card. I see.
Brightwing.
I rolled a 56.
Okay.
Oh man.
Faye.
Huh?
Me?
What'd you roll? Yes.
I am the forever cleric. I rolled a 2.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. Okay. Nas. Oh, wait, no, Eclipse.
A 34.
Okay, that's between Brightwing and Rafe and Nas.
44.
Wow,
Damn.
bad rolls. Okay. So, Brightwing, Nas, Eclipse, Rafe, Faye. That's the order from the first round.
Oof.
Also, as you pick up these cards and turn them over, you very quickly realize it is all art depictions that are very much like pinup / romance book covers.
Nice. Okay.
Just the most classic, like,
Are
shirt
they-
V open on the men art.
Okay, so they're not like Art
Women-
Nouveau style. They're
Women
very
tilted
like
back. Yeah, it's romance book cover. all
perfect,
different.
perfect.
Okay, everybody make a constitution check, and where you are in the order determines the DC.
A check?
Yeah,
Just
Not
straight
safe.
con.
This is just a check.
I guess we'll go in the same order.
Yeah, go in the same order. You ready, Brightwing?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Rafe only rolled an 11, but that's enough to meet the DC in the first round.
I rolled a
Right wing.
12.
You're good.
15.
You're also good.
13?
You're also good.
10.
10 is enough in round 1.
Goals.
Okay, so
Goals.
after the cards are drawn, he pours this bit of liquor into each of these glasses, each one slightly larger than the last, and then passes them out based on the cards.
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah, true, I have an actual one.
Alright, let's do it.
All right. Low cards, but well played. Round 2.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Roll D100.
Oh boy. Okay.
Ooh!
90.
Rafe is struggling.
Yeah.
Dude, this is rough.
I said it.
18 for Rafe. Right wing?
89.
Ooh!
94.
Okay.
Fuck. 13.
Okay, you're last right now.
Mhm.
Nas.
50.
Okay.
Boy.
So,
That's
Faye, Brightwing, Nas, Rafe, Eclipse. All right, roll a con check. Ooh. Rafe rolled a 13, which even with the hardest DC is enough.
19.
Enough.
7.
7?
Uh-oh.
You were first in the order, right?
Uh-huh.
That is the DC for first in the order. Wow.
Barely
Damn.
makes it.
Okay. Eclipse?
22.
You're well more than good.
8.
8? Where were you in the order? Third?
Middle? Yeah.
Third,
Like
yeah.
middle,
That
Yeah.
is not enough. The DC
No.
is 9. Okay.
No.
You get a big enough serving of alcohol that when you drink this, you feel the dizzies. You can honestly decide how you bow out, but you bow out.
Kind of lean back. You'd see a little bit of like rosy cheeks start on him.
You out.
I suppose so.
It's your question.
I didn't think of questions. Oh my god, I didn't think about those. I didn't think I'd roll very high.
What do you want to know about Nas?
It has to be highly creative and poignant, so don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I know. If you could, with unlimited funds, create anything in the world, regardless of magical limitations, regardless of physical limitations, what would you create? Or commission to be created?
So what you're asking is, what would I do if I was a god?
Yeah, kinda.
Rafe sort of elbows on the tables, chins on hands.
Well, it feels mundane to say asking for world peace, not looking to get any awards. But there are a very many number of unanswered prayers. Whatever it was, it wouldn't be for me.
Has to be true now.
That's true.
I would do what I can to find those that deserve better. Those that were wronged for the wrong reasons. And the purpose wouldn't be to rectify it. There is no correcting somebody that's been wronged. But there is helping.
Rather noble. Been to the garden yet?
Tomorrow.
All right. Well,
Can I do an
a good
insight
question
check?
and a good answer. What?
Can I do an insight check on the garden? And is it more like a sheltered, like, charity thing than an actual garden?
Roll an insight check.
$23.
It's not really possible to ascertain any details specifically of what this thing that they keep mentioning might be from that short sentence. But what you do sense with a 23 is some level of significance behind it that doesn't just jive with a bunch of flowers. All right. Points to those of you who are still in round 3. Roll D100. Better, still not great. Rafe better get his shit together. 57 from Rafe.
99.
Oh! Okay.
52.
Okay, just below Rafe.
48.
Okay, the lowest. All right, everybody roll a con check.
Oh, man.
Rafe was second from the worst. Okay, that's enough. Rafe rolled a
15.
14. 15 is enough.
14 as well.
14 is enough.
17?
17 is well more than enough, even with your bad roll or your bad card. Fills up the glasses, holds them up. All right. Things are gonna get tougher. It's the nature of the game. Everybody roll D100. Oh, there we go. Rafe's been slowly climbing the ladder. 81 for Rafe.
No joke. 99 again.
Wow.
18.
Oh!
60 even.
60 even. Okay, Faye at the bottom, Eclipse, Rafe, Brightwing at the top. Roll a con check with disadvantage because you are 3 drinks in now.
Mm.
Oh, one was a natural 20.
They're the same number.
Rafe rolled a 6, which is a fail.
Oh, shit.
I also rolled a 6.
Oh,
Which
shit.
is also a fail.
Oh no. I got a 12.
And you were
I had an
second
18.
from the highest? Oh, you were at the bottom? 12 is the DC.
Oh
You're
no.
at the bottom. Eclipse?
15?
15 is more than enough. Okay. He pours the drinks, takes a big gulp. of his very large drink. All right, not fair. I pre-gamed. I'm out.
I'm out.
Did you roll? You rolled a 99, right, Brightwing?
Yes.
Okay, and
I'll be back.
Eclipse.
What?
What'd you roll?
I rolled 60.
And Faye rolled an 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your question to everybody who got booted, which is Rafe and Brightwing.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Give me 1 sec. I will think.
Okay, yeah.
I think Brightwing took the smallest glass, and even still is like,
Mm-hmm. This is probably like the equivalent of a good 4 or 5 shots, so this might be the most alcohol you've ever drunk. Which, including the gulping of the scumble that you did accidentally.
She'll kind of lean her hands on the table and kind of rest her chin on her hands as well. If you could have, let's call it a superpower. There's one thing that you're very, very good at. What would it be? One thing that you're not already good at.
My first instinct is to say drinking, because then I wouldn't have to answer this question. A superpower that I'm not currently good at. You know, perhaps funnily enough, with all you around and your friends, this might be a possibility someday, but I would love the chance to fly. Get around places quicker, see beautiful sights. Could be quite a useful tool with the ladies and the gentlemen, if you know what I mean. Oh, you'd like to go for a quick flight over the beach at sunset? Why, yes. Would be an all-round a hoot, I suppose. Can you make that happen? No? Unfortunate. I'll have to meet your friend from Leah then. Looks at you, Brightwing.
Remember how mine ended. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
You know, well, that's a terrible idea, but we could do that tonight.
That's true.
But it'd be more falling with style.
Okay, Buzz Lightyear, chill out.
I'm listening. So I don't quite know if that's what I'm going for,
No,
but
I don't want to interject.
I'm
Perhaps
jumping
not.
off the edge of the city.
Exactly that.
oh, good
Speaking of crazy.
lords, that would be something.
It's okay. We wouldn't splat. He's got us
Mhm.
covered.
Mm.
I think Brightwing has been like kind of looking in the shot glass, contemplating the question, and then looks up at Rafe's answer to it, and further like looks deeper in thought. I would want to fly too.
Is that right?
I can't do it. These wings are a misconception.
Similar
always had-
reasons.
I know what it feels like. I fly in dreams. But I can't do it.
dream, but something tells me it's probably not quite the same. Kindred spirits, though. The flying duo.
I don't think I would fly men and women, though. I'm not strong to carry.
No.
But-
Unfortunate. I know Mikhail loves rides on the skyship.
I don't know what you're talking
Yeah, as
about.
if you see the joking blank paper, I'm just scribbling on
Mhm. Yeah.
that.
All right. Well, it's down to 2.
Yes.
Go for it. Roll D100, you two.
Faye has kind of a 1,000-yard stare at those answers, and then kind of snaps back.
Bruh.
93.
Damn.
13.
Okay, roll your con checks with disadvantage.
Oh fuck! One's a nat 20, the other one's a 8.
Natural 1 for a 5.
Oh!
Oh no!
They both go out?
Okay. You both go out. Those are both failures.
But she
Uh,
had the higher number at the end of it, so.
yeah. We'll say that
I think you get to both ask each other.
Yeah,
a
you just
question.
ask each other.
Ooh. Okay, okay.
if you both wave off the next round, then you both will tie for the win and get to ask each other questions. Not a usual ending, but go for it. We get some extra answers this way.
So what do we do now?
You ask me, I ask you.
She kind of looks also 1,000-yard stare at the wall. Are you enjoying your second chance?
Oh. Oh. Ouch.
If you'd have asked me a year ago where I thought I'd be right now, it would probably be someplace, truly someplace quite similar. Sharing a drink with friends, perhaps even hanging out with Rafe. So I'd say that while the journey's been a bit roundabout, the destination in this moment is the same. So yes, I am enjoying it. And I cannot begin to express how grateful I am for all of you for giving me that chance.
She has probably the warmest smile that you've seen in a while.
Kind of reach over and like hand on your knee and kind of shake your knee a little bit. If you were not strong, if you were not this bulwark of a person, what would you endeavor to be? If you did not have physical strength, what would you dedicate yourself to?
I couldn't protect what I love physically, it would be mentally. I probably would have tried to memorize everything that I could.
It's okay.
I probably will. Smarter people than I are doing it right now.
Wouldn't have taken you for an academic, but perhaps I could see it.
See how much she gets lost in a comic book.
She's
Or
about as
used to.
flustered as she can manage, even though you can't see it.
Yeah.
There's no blush.
There is just.
I will say for winning the game and for the questions and answers, Faye and Eclipse take a DM inspiration.
Ooh.
Right. Well, those questions and answers were far too serious, so we still haven't solved that problem.
I don't think you grasp fully the balance that our group here holds between brevity and chaos.
I'll solve this problem. And I'm gonna take out the comic book and I'm gonna slap it on the table. Pick a favorite character. No context.
Hey, ho! What do they look like?
So there's a Tony Stark looking guy.
Mhm.
There's a busty red tiefling.
Mhm.
There's a silver dragonborn female. Is it an Eladrin? So like a high elf, a bit shorter, tan skin with black hair. He looks a bit resentfully at the red tiefling, and the red tiefling's kind of smirking slyly at him. And then I'm trying to remember. I think that's pretty much the main ones on the cover.
He shifts it slightly his direction, takes a look. Tell me about this haughty-looking human fellow.
No context. You just have to pick one.
Really? Can I flip through a couple pages? Or is the
Absolutely, go
cover
for it.
alone. Flips through. What
You just
kind of
can't
personality might he
read
get?
any of it. He would probably get
From a couple pictures.
from a couple pictures. It kind of goes between, like very in a workshop. Like one of them's like almost like a montage of like schematics and running around a workshop trying to fix things. The next one is kind of it's kind of very similar again to Tony Stark. There's like a very serious work side. There's like a playful party side. It kind of like goes through both as you're going through it.
Something of a rich playboy philanthropist type fellow.
You can't pick yourself.
Technically, it's not me, just because we share many similarities. Listen, I'm attracted to what's attractive. I don't know what to tell you. This is, sign me up, is all I have to say about this fellow. What's his name? Is he real?
I never knew.
Keep my eyes peeled. Alright. Have you all seen the treehouse?
Slowly take the comic book back.
Faye, you would know immediately what he's talking about. But the others of you would not have seen it.
No.
I live in a tree house. House in a tree.
Really? Was it designed by my sister?
No, it was old house from an old clan of. That was, I believe, of squirrel Korean features, so high in tree.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to explain all the words you just said.
Oh, I suppose.
You are a squirrel person.
No. My people, we are part being human and part nature animal.
That's the feathers.
Yes.
Alright.
Are two spirits in one.
Is this something with the wilds again?
Yes. The wilds
I'm-
choose this animal spirit that is your companion in life.
Okay, I'm putting the picture together.
Yes.
And a squirrel
Was this
person.
person's companion? They passed, but their house remained, and I needed a place to live when I was younger. And so I found it. My father helped rebuild it when I was 13, and I've lived there ever since.
Your father helped you rebuild it.
Yes.
But you moved out when you were 13.
I moved out when I was 10 to our community house, but didn't really sit well.
I'm going to assume that's a cultural difference, which I shan't press into further. Impressive, though. Well, no, I wasn't talking about a... Would you say it was Khaing?
Kauaian.
Kauaian treehouse? No, I meant the one on the grounds here.
Then no, we did not see a house in a tree last time we were here.
Arguably the greatest achievement ever made by the combined efforts of the Rosewood Five. Excluding the garden, of course. If you don't mind indulging me in a story that should be a little lighter than what we've had so far.
If
I
you
think it would
must.
have been when Faye was about 8 years old or so. Though we don't know exactly. Not more than... Well, it would have been not more than a year after we traded those camels for her.
Was this before or after the pink dress in the portrait?
Oh, the pink dress plays very highly in the story. I remember it was around that time because I had recently come of age and the tiresome trio were all out on their own already. It was a summer here in Ilmara, which likely means it was busy season at Rhymex, otherwise we wouldn't have been here, typically. Faye got it in her head that she was a world-class architect. Begged our parents to let her build a treehouse on the back half of the estate. As you may have learned this already, but they were not very good at saying no to her, particularly our mother. But she insisted that she enlist us brothers to do the actual labor. So, and we will fade from the story Rafe is telling, though all you players would hear it that way, to a flashback.
Oh.
You see, we all see, a young girl in a frilly, light pink dress, blonde hair and pigtails, big gray eyes, gesticulating wildly to two figures seated at one end of a large table. One, a narrow-faced man with short, wavy, graying brown hair. The other, a beautiful, austere-looking woman with a short updo of also graying blonde curls. As the young woman continues her seemingly emphatic presentation, the man looks knowingly to the woman, who smiles bemusedly and gestures towards the man And he looks to the girl, raises his hand in mock defeat, and gives a slight nod. The girl jumps up and down emphatically, hugs both figures, and then runs out the door. And the scene fades into another. The young girl now lying on a beautifully woven rug in what appears to be her bedroom, drawing intently on one of a dozen pieces of paper scattered on the ground around her, tongue out one side of her mouth. We see the door to the room creak open, and what is undeniably a late teens version of Rafe pokes his head into the room. The little girl pops up immediately, holding out the drawing she's working on. He takes it. She scampers back and picks up several more, forming a little portfolio that she begins to present with gusto. And that scene fades away again. Now we see what could best be described as a construction job site. Pieces of lumber scattered about amidst saws, hammers, nails, and other tools. And as we pan up, we see the rough skeleton of, indeed, a treehouse, forming around and between two massive, sturdy oaks. You see the wall of the Rosewood estate in the background. All amidst the vaguely organized chaos, you see all four Rosewood brothers, the other three seemingly in their mid to late 20s. Young, dashingly handsome versions of Luke and Bronson, sleeves of extremely dirty shirts rolled up past their elbows, holding either end of what appears to be a ramshackle rope bridge of sorts, raising and lowering it in expectant exasperation as they look towards Dane, in his prime, muscles on top of muscles, and on top his shoulders, the young girl. Tongue still sticking out one side of her mouth, fingers forming a window, which she looks through with one eye closed, evaluating. She exclaims something and gestures upwards, and the two brothers raise the bridge an inch. She smiles broadly and gives a thumbs up to someone out of view, and we pan to see Rafe slumped on a half platform built into one of the trees, hat tilted down over his eyes. Panning back to the girl, we see her cup her hands to her mouth and shout. Nothing. Then a wide view of all four brothers and the girl in unison, mouthing what looks to be Rafe, at which point he jolts awake, sees the situation, and rushes to secure the bridge that they are holding in place. And the scene fades again. And now we see more than a dozen people scurrying about the estate grounds. We see servants rushing to and fro, white chairs being laid in rows across the grounds, banners of silk and tulle being strung, and at the front of a long aisle, a bare arch of woven white and red wood, surrounded by several figures, all seemingly concerned, frustrated, or both. Both parents, Bronson, and a young human woman in a gorgeous white dress who looks familiar to you, all talking rapidly, gesturing to the arch, holding their heads in their hands. And slowly we pan away from that scene across the grounds to a back corner, to a pair of oaks graced with a completed, surprisingly impressive treehouse, and up into an open window where we see the young girl and Rafe, clearly dressed for an important occasion of some kind, lounging in a corner of the treehouse, grinning with a massive, elegant drapery of white and red roses hanging from the wall behind them. We pan out slowly as they laugh. I think that was the maddest I've ever seen, Brawny. For as long as it lasted. It wasn't very long. No one could stay mad at Faye very long. Everyone had a laugh eventually. It was pure chaos for a while there. I think it's still here. In whatever state it may be.
The flowers.
Well, it's been a while. Don't know how well they're doing. Don't
Could
think
go
Mother and
check.
Father ever took the treehouse down.
Been a while since we've camped out there.
Oh, it has to have been more than a decade at this point.
Hmm.
Very nearly, at least. See, that's what I mean about the tiresome trio. They would never go out there again. It was hard enough to get them involved. But he looks at the rest of you. She has this natural ability to convince everyone that whatever her idea is the best one, and if you don't agree to it and help in any way you can, you're likely to fall into a pit or die screaming in some horrible way.
My methods, while equally effective, are a bit more refined these days.
Are you all under some sort of spell she's cast? Is there some way to break that? I don't really know how
There
it
is
works.
this stare that she does from time to time.
I likely
Chill
know it.
your soul.
Yes. It's the, are you sure you want to disagree with me on that sort of stare?
And I'm
You
sure
don't.
that she'll have objections, but she's not always right.
I suppose I could name two
How humble of
times.
you. I think I know where we're staying tonight.
I don't think we've been given much of a choice.
Is that before or after we jump out of the Horizon District, though?
We just bought it, Yasmin.
Oh, brave. Don't tell me you're timid all of a sudden.
What?
Can pass the spell.
Listen, I'm
Oh,
not
it's
a
true.
purveyor of the magical arts. I'm sure you have some fancy means, but I would like
Look,
to be
I
made
will have you
aware
know,
of them at the
I
very
have one other one-up on your sister.
least. Oh?
And that is,
Purveyor
I
feat.
catch people. She does not. So as long as you're in my hands, you're perfectly safe.
Roll a persuasion check. See if that's his best one yet.
22.
He narrows his eyes for a moment. Listen, I don't trust you farther than I can throw you, and I will be quite
As you
honest, that's
shouldn't.
not very far.
He's not very
However,
heavy.
no, I'm not. Well,
Nope.
no, he's not.
No, me.
Depends on
however-
the day.
And if Eclipse is doing the throwing or somebody else.
Right. I do trust my sister. A little more far than I can throw her. Still not much, but she is wayfish. If she vouches for you, I'm game for the idea, though I still would like a bit of a heads up as to what we're engaging in.
We're jumping off a cliff.
Established Earlier. It's no context.
Right. The pools at the bottom are deep, but I'm pretty sure from that height it's just straight up concrete.
If you're too afraid, that's
Stone.
perfectly fine, but I thought that you were a purveyor of the spices of life.
Yes, I am. And in order to purvey my spices, I need to continue maintaining my life.
And
That
I
is the
believe that your
primary need.
date for the gala would love to hear about the exhilarating weekend. I'm sorry, it's Wednesday. Week-a-day that you had prior. Jumping off a cliff in the middle of night with nothing but the trust of a stranger. What else could be more exhilarating?
Cox's head looks at you, Faye.
I'm gonna be attempting to drink something that's not the alcohol. and
Yeah,
just
I'm
be
just gonna
well,
be
if
like,
anything, it'll
"Ugh."
give him a little bit of a contest to try and one up this stranger to keep your
It's-
interests.
Does it?
I wasn't the one that fell last time.
I felt.
Have we seen him cast this spell?
Nope.
Okay.
You're gonna slide a handed with the token.
Yeah, Snip. The thingies, the feather thingies. They lasted a long time in this contest. The feather thingies.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you could do this yourself.
Do you not trust me?
I need to know if we need to use the thingies. Or if you can do that for everyone.
Two
I
of
don't
you
think it'd
are
be very
siblings, aren't you?
exhilarating either because the coins just make you fall slowly.
Well, that would jive with his previous falling with style comment.
Mhm.
As long as the
Yeah.
speed enough
As
to
a
not
vote of
slap.
confidence, I have 3. I will jump with you, and you can hold mine.
Okay.
Is this actually happening?
Yes. Don't think too hard about it.
I'm struggling not to. Picks up, pours himself one of the larger drinks, and drinks it.
Okay.
All right. This seems incredibly foolhardy, but
That's why it's fun.
okay. Are you going out into the city? Okay, where? Are you going
To the Rhea
To-
Falls.
to the falls? Okay.
Or adjacent.
Uh-huh. An area where there is railing, but road for sightseeing purposes, which there are. Is everybody going?
Off the cliff?
I don't know. This is just to the cliff for now.
To Eclipse. Should we go?
Well, someone's gonna have to. She kind of tilts her head a little bit, getting her bearings again.
They are all
I was gonna
very
say explain the
drunk.
situation, but I don't even think I could do that right now.
But is this the
Best
safe
part
thing for them to do?
is
Because they all have been
one-
drinking.
One person gets a bit more of a ride than the others.
Okay. Here, I'm guessing we're already out there at this point. Like we've just been wandering, or is this we have not
Carlina.
left yet?
Carlina.
We have not left yet.
You have not left.
Carlina. While you guys are having this conversation,
Yes.
can you put 5, like, bedrolls in the treehouse?
Oh, good gracious. Well,
It doesn't need to be anything fancy. We have our own bedrolls if you want to put them out there. Just make a...
Yes, the bedrolls are less of the problem. I think it might need some cleaning, perhaps some
Don't do that.
cleaning. Don't do that. Oh,
It's fine.
yes.
no
well,
clean,
of
only throw.
course, but I can have. Yes.
One's an organic experience.
All right.
Thank you.
I have an asthma attack.
Maybe just open the windows.
She shuffles off.
sneeze and dust just goes everywhere.
Is everyone
Alright.
coming?
Alright. Hear me out. Are we gonna get arrested for doing this? Because we have stuff to do, and I don't
Ooh.
want.
Yes, there was
Okay.
the purpose of keeping low profile, as you
Yeah, I
said.
don't-
There a sign?
It is frowned upon to leap from the falls, but I don't know if you can technically be jailed for it. It's just more of a very poor life choice.
Well,
It's not
would-
common, I guess is my other question.
No.
I think the
Okay.
typical person wouldn't have to be concerned with the repercussions.
Valid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure.
Bless you.
Why not?
Thanks.
All
We
right.
can go supervise.
This is happening then. You see a remaining tinge of suspicion like this might just be a prank.
I'm gonna link elbows with Rafe and Yasnip
Okay.
to the falls.
You guys make your way out of the Rosewood Estate through the Horizon District to the path that circles around the edge of the Raya Falls, which fall from this area of the bluffs down into the pools below in the center of the city. Eventually
I
reach
need
these
to
railings
be
that look
drinking
down.
my water skin as we go to try
Okay.
and fight off the impending hangover.
I will walk up and stand on the railing.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Roll a dex check.
Is this to maintain balance?
I feel like it should be
Yes.
at disadvantage.
have
'cause
it?
Is
you're
he at
drunk.
disadvantage because he's drunk? So it's
You
I was-
were
I
out
was
the
out in the first round.
So I'm gonna say you're
Yeah.
not drunk. You just gave up on the drinking, and you would have advantage because of your feature.
And you said just dex or acrobatics?
It will be acrobatics.
Okay, 26.
Okay. You are able to almost like flip your feet up, walk back and forth a couple times. You see Rafe's eyes go a little wide. We don't need to have that sort of balance, do we?
no.
No, all you need to do is fall.
Shot. I'm sorry, what? I thought we were flying.
Well,
It's-
with style, falling. Look, you
Alright.
get a teaser before you get the full thing. It's just kind of a expectation.
Am I meant to jump from these rails without any additional security beyond your word?
Yes.
Yes.
Looks at you again, Faye. You're quite
Yes.
sure about this. Right. Well, of the many things that many people could say about Rafe Rosewood, a coward is not one of them. And he pulls himself up onto the rails.
He's
That's your
gonna like
symbol, sir.
dip under the rail and like hold on to the back and like
Titanic
stand
style?
up. Yes.
Yeah.
And look over the edge and just kind of.
Brightwing and Eclipse.
I'm just watching.
I'm just watching.
Okay.
Right. So
I've
between the
fallen
two
off a
of
cliff.
you-
She doesn't want to do it again.
No.
Okay.
Between the two of you, who wants to go with the more thrilling ride then?
I voted for flying as my superpower, so I do feel a bit in the right.
All right.
You sure you two don't want to come?
I have fallen off cliffs. I don't really like it.
All right.
I'll be here in
Well.
case somebody asks any questions.
Are-
In
are
fact,
we
like
going to be able
Brightwing
to
is
fly
not
back
near
up
the
to here?
edge. Brightwing's
Okay.
nowhere near the
Passes for
edge.
that.
Yeah.
But we'll back up. It's fine.
Oh, hell. I hope you all are fine hanging out for a bit. It's not going to be that quick.
Let's
I
just
don't know
kind
how
of
fast we're getting
I
down.
think we'll probably just
Referencing
go
her
away to the
previous statement.
treehouse.
Can I have? I'll get like a one. Ask for one of your passes for Rave.
Okay.
Oh yeah, here. I'll give her one.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a bracelet or something like a.
It's like a little card.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll hand it over.
What does the sky look like?
It is late night at this point, well past sunset, and probably past 9:45, 10 p.m. So it is pure stars. And from where you are, you do see, looking down, the entirety of the Dawn Burrows, and off to the side you can see the Mercari Wedge. And there are dotted lights throughout, the signs of people still up late at night within their homes, businesses. But largely it is muted, low, and you are several hundred feet up. And there is a general mist from the falls that also tends to blur out a lot of those lights. So there's very little light pollution that blocks what is above you, a somewhat still clouded from the storm, but in most places clear, very starry sky.
You'll have to tell me how the horizon looks when we get to the bottom. Are you ready?
Horizon?
Are we just meant to jump?
Together. Hold my hands out.
Oh, good lord. Okay, who's counting it down?
On 3.
3!
On ah! Okay,
As-
you all jump.
As we begin to fall, I will reaction cast Featherfall on the 3 of us.
Okay.
And when I am able to, I am going to use a 3rd level spell slot to Vortex Warp Rafe 120 feet higher.
Ayo! Okay.
No.
Just for the record.
How high is the falls, I suppose, is a good question.
It is a good question. It is roughly 700 feet.
Okay, we're gonna
Above the
fall
pools.
500, or we're gonna fall 200 to 300 feet first.
Okay, that's what I
And
was
then we'll
checking
do-
on.
We'll do a quick rewind, and he'll get to see it again.
Okay. All right. So you're going to vortex warp him up and then cast Featherfall?
No, we're going to jump off.
The Featherfall will remain. It's not concentration.
Correct. So
Okay.
we're gonna jump off. We're gonna start to fall.
Okay.
Once that we get to about the 400-foot mark, we
Okay.
will Featherfall.
Wow.
Faye and I are covered for the last 400, and then Vortex Warp him 120 feet, so he will get the full 1 minute of Featherfall to the bottom.
Okay. Wow.
Actually,
All right.
fuck it. We'll go the first 50 feet. I'll cast Featherfall, Vortex Warp him up 100 additional points, and I'll catch him. And I'll cast Featherfall again.
Okay. He screams somewhere in between the two for the first at least 15 seconds of this, just nonstop. But eventually, you guys reach the steady decline of the fall. And there is still the rush of wind, but the screaming stops. This is rather more peaceful than I thought it would be, all things considered.
From
I can
100
turn
feet
it
above
off
us.
if you like.
No, please do not. Can we adjust trajectory, or is this sort of a straight down thing?
DM?
Roll. Do you have anything that creates wind pushes? That
I'd have Gust.
That's a cantrip or the
Yeah.
spell? Okay, yeah, that would be enough to redirect slightly. Okay. Yeah, you would
You-
be able to use that to like.
I
You can't fly with it, but you can adjust trajectory like a
Hold
little
up.
spaceship in space, poofing along.
I'm gonna get really fucking weird with this.
Okay.
I will do whatever I need to vortex warp Fae, Misty Step myself, to get close enough to recast Featherfall and use Gust on each of us numerous times. I'm gonna invest like 8 spells.
You have the spell slots for this?
So I can first level Featherfall,
Mm-hmm.
3rd level Vortex Warp.
Okay.
That's Wraith.
Yep.
3rd level Vortex Warp Fae.
Okay.
2nd level Misty Step myself.
Yeah.
2nd level Misty Step myself again.
Okay.
Featherfall a 2nd time, so we're all close together. Gust,
Okay.
Gust.
Wow, 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 wow.
I'm
All right.
burning all my spell slots on an RP moment.
Okay.
I
And then
support
you're going
you.
to gust the trio down.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you guys reach the final Featherfall and start gusting, it becomes still a fall, but a slow enough one that you can appreciate the view, the rush of wind, the freedom, the experience, and you more or less fall with style down to the edge of the heart pool. Straight down would be into the heart pool at the base of these falls, but to the edge of it, down the Dawn Burrows, and eventually lightly touch down. Whoo! That was something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need quite a bit of time to orchestrate the words to describe what it was. Is that something you do all the time?
No, that's the first time I've tried it.
Right. You are a madman, but I like it. Well, does this count? Can I say I've flown now? I'm not sure how these things work.
I mean, you could embellish, surely.
I am quite good at that. All
You
right.
you did technically go down and then up, which maybe some semblance with control. Don't fully know how it works.
Listen, I'm not a wordsmith. This seems like flying to me. We're going with that. I guess I can check that off the list. I'm going to need a new answer to the question. Thank you.
Hmm.
You guys make your way back up?
Yeah.
Eclipse and Brightwing. Anything you want to do in the meantime? While you
Being
wait for
Rafe
them.
scream off the edge of the cliff.
Yes.
I
You
think-
hear everybody.
I
Well,
think-
you hear Rafe go screaming off the edge, and then watch as there's a bunch of
There-
poofing, and then you see them soar until they're out of sight.
thing for the screaming, there's like this unhindered because of the alcohol, just like sly grin just the entire time the sound is happening.
Yep.
And once it dies down, she'll probably walk over and like look over and make sure they're fine.
They
then-
descend until basically through the mists and out of sight. You don't even
Yeah.
see them landing.
I won't make Brightwing walk over. I'll just check.
Yeah,
them
but
out.
are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
How far from the edge are you, Brightwing?
Not close.
Like 30 or 40 feet. Yeah, she's way back.
Okay.
I'll walk back and just kind of gesture back towards the house. I think we can. Well, do you want to wait here or do you want to head back?
Guess we just head back.
So as we're
Probably makes tea to help with the headaches from the drink.
That's not a terrible idea. And she'll walk with you and she'll look back.
Are you going to go jump?
No, I had a different question, actually. I know Kauaians don't get to choose their gift or their spirit. Is that true? That's something you're born to be?
It is more like knowing you're missing something. We are born without it. And it's not really known until after we have it that we yet always long for a part of ourselves. It is something that is truly you in all these sense. Think of it as something that's supposed to make you better than you were and helps you where you were weakest.
Kind of looks down at her hands and she'll kind of flex or claws come out once in a while. This is something I used to think was a burden or a problem. Something that wouldn't help me in life. It would only get in the way. The more I look at everything, the more we've been through, and honestly, the more I hang out with you, I realize that's probably not the right way to look at it. So even though I'm not Hawaiian per se, do you think you could help me?
To accept it?
Yeah. Just a little better.
I don't know if I'm the right person.
I think you're the perfect person.
This plan to pretend I am some important person, I agree it is a good plan. But I know Faye was joking, but I am no princess. I am not someone that they would ever pick. Be this person. Not even my own parents would pick for this. Do you understand? You all are so lucky. I've seen and been blessed by being welcomed into each of your homes. And I see love and acceptance for who you are. I don't have that. My parents loved me. Don't ever doubt that. I never will. But after we kinda, it's supposed to be a celebration that you're finally whole. I didn't see that celebration that night. I saw those faces of disappointment and shame and hate in some cases. Your father and mother look at you with such pride. I saw pity in their eyes. I've had that look in their eyes for nearly 10 years. It's hard to accept yourself when people feel bad for the person you are. So I haven't fully yet.
Right-wing. I'm best friends with one of the most gifted people in that stupid building of a school. And what I'm asking you is something that I locked away for incredibly similar reasons. When I say you're the perfect person, I mean it. Besides, sometimes the family you choose is better, even if they're not proud of you. We're all proud of you. You've done so much. And we're not asking you to be royalty. We're not even asking you to be a novelty. We're asking you to be you. Because we think you're wonderful. And if it were under better circumstances, we'd ask you to tell them everything about you. We're not ashamed of who you are. The only time that we have ever asked you to do anything less than who you are is for your own safety and ours. It is not out of shame, and it is not out of pity.
Don't want these people to have a bad notion of my people because they met me first.
Well, I don't think their opinion matters. Because they're only getting a piece of you. And if they want to turn their noses up and be the rich, snobby, entitled people that they are, then you can see that as clear as day. They're not your people. They never will be.
But I want to represent us, though. I want that. Even if some back home would say that I am not representing history, I am simply a stain upon it. I still want to. I do love my home. Was the anomaly. And I do think things could have been different if I was different. But I am still proud of where I come from.
And show them that. Don't worry about their expectation. If some of them ever went to your home, they wouldn't see the same color, the same shape, the same animal, right? How can you possibly represent an entire group of people when each and every one of them is unique in their own way?
True.
Don't worry about shouldering the entire reputation of a people. Not worth doing. I'll give her a pat on the head. And again, I'm not asking for a whole ritual lesson. It's just, I want to be my best self. And I think we can help with that, even helping each other.
Anger is not a bad thing.
Mm.
It's simply lets us know when something matters to us so much. Anger comes from love, so to speak. Whether it was taken or from us, or something that we loved was hurt, or we were hurt by someone that we loved. There is a reason why they are opposites of each other. I don't think it's bad to be angry. But to use anger in a way to hurt is bad. But I've seen you use it to protect love. Your father, your mother, us. You have an anger that is fueled by love. And that's not.
Is the moon out, Matt?
Yeah. It's mostly full and peeking between clouds right now.
Just want to make sure everything stays that way. But we'll work on it. Doesn't have to be a now thing. Just over time. When we have time. And definitely not now. She kind of holds her head.
Okay. You guys make your way back slowly. reach the estate and upon entering are met by Carlina.
Oh, if you head down the path and then turn left at the third break off, that sort of winds back towards that would be the western side of the estate. You'll see it there.
Nods at you and walks back into the house.
Guess we go to the treehouse.
Okay. Eventually, the rest of you also make your way back up. Back to the estate. Faye, you know where it is, so you're able to lead the others. And arrive at what is very much like what you saw, though the characters wouldn't have. These two large oaks with what is essentially a pair of room-like fort sort of treehouse structures built around each one with a rope bridge in between. Looks like it's missing several slats. And the overall design seems likely drawn up by a 9-year-old, but executed by some actually decent craftsmen. And it looks like a place well worn, played in, little towers, ladders up to the top. And once you make your way inside, though there are no lights, find a series of bedrolls laid out, a bunch of little shelves with books and toys scattered around, several toy swords and other weapons in what looks like a little makeshift armory, and hanging attached to the back wall this blanket of flowers that looks like it was once alive, wilted, but then was preserved in a moment. You might suspect magically in some way. That is honestly very surprising. Had to have been Mother some sort of sentimental thing. I'm impressed.
That could use magic. That or she had a druid come in and
Oh no.
fix
She
it in
would have
place.
hired someone. Please.
Yeah.
Quite like I remember it, to be perfectly honest.
It's smaller than I remember.
Well, you were quite shorter. Same width, shorter. All right. I have not slept in such squalor, to put it quite frankly, but I'll do it just this once.
You will, and you will like it.
Rolls up a pack and puts it beneath his neck, lays back, and crosses his feet.
Do the same, and then kind of make a faint smell of roses kind of waft across the room for a moment, like fresh roses were in the room again.
Okay.
Say throughout the night, there'd probably be a point that Nas takes out a small dagger and carves into the wood of the tree Vidui, which is Elvish for persevere. It does the same.
I think Brightwing goes and sits between the treehouses on the rope bridge, swinging her feet. And looking out, feeling that this was probably the closest kind of environment of home she's had in the city. Thinking back to our conversation of Faye. Goes to make the movements for sending, but doesn't complete it. But still says the words. I know I am not what we expected. I hope that I can make you proud with what I am. I want to be proud of Diane. And she looks down at her feathers. And just kind of looks back at the stars and the moon. Before going back to bed. Not before going to where the wall of the flowers are and making a few real ones with druid craft.
Okay. You guys. In a different environment than you've been these last several days out on the hard road, but still not the normal comforts. Somewhere in an in-between that feels right. Drift off to sleep. The smell of roses and twinkle of stars through the windows. And that's where we'll leave this session. Pick up next time. Favorite moment?
I like the flashback.
Yo,
That
my
was
gosh.
that was really fucking special. I liked that
That
a
was
lot.
so cute.
Yeah.
Cammy and I were saying we want it to be a comic. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Just
that
as like a
was-
little comic. That
that
is
was
just so
beautiful.
cute.
Also,
I love it.
the like hints at the dialogue were like
Yeah,
on
not what it
point.
actually is. Just.
That was really cool.
Oh my gosh.
I saw it as a comic or like almost like stills,
Yeah.
like shots,
Exactly.
like but like back. You don't see her face, but like back over her shoulder, and everything's from her perspective.
Yeah.
And you see her with her little pink dress and her little piggy tails, and she's like giving orders and like pitching this proposal, and like at 9 years old is already a force to be reckoned with. That was very special. Thank you, Matt. I enjoyed being surprised, and I love this aspect of having a character that has enough fleshed out that gives you the chance to fill in the blanks a little bit. And I love these interactions with the family and that allow you to fill in some of the blanks of like just specific memories and moments that like flesh out so much more of like who these characters are. And I know several of us have had that moment as well, but like just like I didn't know anything about the treehouse. Like Megan didn't know about the treehouse.
She's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah. Like what? But that was really great.
I think my favorite moment was something that I had planned to be with a completely different context and said, but it felt needed to be said there, and it was what Eclipse was like, hey, you help me accept this part of myself, and Brightwing's like, I don't know if I can because I don't fully accept part of myself. And that it all come from this whole plan of her, you know, like, oh, you could be like the person that like they don't know you, they don't know your people. This could be like a whole representation of your culture, and me realizing like that, I think Brightwing's terrified of that because no one would pick her for that role from her people, and now she's the one doing it. So what does that mean for that? And it added on to what the with Faye being like, I'm gonna make, say you're a princess to my brother. It added to like when Nas was like, I'm gonna make myself look like you, like a sibling, like all those little things and moments that were just fun. But to Brightwing, we're like, I'm not the person that would ever be picked for this, but I now I am. What do I do with it? And I had a whole different plan. It was gonna be with Faye. It was gonna be right before the party, but it felt right in this moment to do it with Eclipse. For her asking to, how do I accept it? And Brightwing's like, I don't know if I don't know the answer because I don't have it myself.
I think the conversation between Brightwing and Eclipse was also my favorite because it really did set that difference between how Brightwing perceives herself and how we perceive Brightwing. And the contrast between two of those, where somebody can have this expectation of themselves that is set so high, almost unreachable, but then to everybody that's closest to them and around them in the moment, they're well over the bar. They're doing flips. And I liked seeing that play out where Eclipse is asking for help from somebody that she respects and feels that has that under control. And seeing the reaction of the person that's like, I don't have this control. I really don't. But there's still that level of confidence from Eclipse, like saying, like, you do. It's like, you're good enough.
That's so realistic. I mean, how many
Yeah.
conversations do we have with our trusted ones in our own life where it's like, I feel like I'm drowning. Like, I feel like I'm so in over my head. I've got all this imposter syndrome, and people are like,
What
I
are you talking
admire
about?
you. Like, you seem like you've got it together. And I'm like, I'm so glad you think that about me. Like, thank you for that vote of confidence. I think that's so real. That's such a genuine, real life conversation.
It's what's cool is Brightwing does have the perspective of how your family sees you guys, because she's seen Yasnip's family, Naz's family talk about him, been in his house, seen Faye and each of your brothers talk about you, and like Eclipse and her family, and see all that and that side of love and acceptance, and she now fully recognizes that she doesn't have that. She has love for sure, but she doesn't have the pride that she sees in Eclipse's father's eyes as she does with her father's.
I think the hardest thing about that conversation too was like when Brightwing was describing the shame and the pity all I could think of is the first time Eclipse probably popped off, and it's like being in the principal's office. You know what I mean? It was, I couldn't say it because apparently it was not the same emotion, but it's just like, she's totally had that. They've not always been proud of her. There's definitely been times she's fucked up somehow. It's just
Eclipse has beaten up a kid in school. Okay.
100%.
We all
I
know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, somebody looked at Remy sideways
Yeah.
and she fucking
Yep.
kicked the
We
shit
cracked
out of
something
them. Like,
about
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
But-
why it was so,
Threaten-
like,
threaten of
damn.
expulsion.
But
all
also
that.
from Brightwing's perspective, she's never seen your anger
Exactly.
as a bad thing. Because, like you said,
Exactly.
she's like, you've always used it out of love.
Yeah.
She's never seen you use it out of true anger and true hate for somebody. It's always been out of defense of love or protection of love.
Yeah. But the punishment and the repercussion of having done it in the first place
Yeah.
is always the biggest barrier.
That caused that mental block for her for
Yeah.
so long.
Oh,
to
yeah.
have put that like barrier in place for her, and like I think you've seen the repercussion, like, or not, repercussions isn't the right word, but like the fruit of her having overcome all of that negative stigma and being able to channel that into something that is positive and that is productive and that is helpful. Because it could be a negative thing, it could be like a potentially dangerous thing for others, but now to use it in defense of someone that she loves that's a huge, like, but like you didn't see the before, like you saw the void and the after, but not the before.
Yeah.
Well, lovely session, all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you for being lovely players, always. We
For the
will pick
record,
up.
Megan would never in 100,000 years have jumped off that cliff.
No,
True.
absolutely.
Megan would have been
Absolutely.
100 feet away from the edge. I am horrifically terrified of heights. So I live vicariously through Faye and her confidence.
Yep.
I would jump out of a plane.
I already have, so
Mm-mm.
I would do it.
Rafe would as well.
I would like have claws into
I
the floor.
love ziplining. And
That's different though. You're
I know it's
You're
different, but it's the next step.
You're-
Skydiving is the
No,
next
it's
step. No,
not.
bungee
No,
jumping.
it's
a large
not.
step below.
No.
It is a step
Bungee
below.
jumping's next, and
Yeah,
then
that's
skydiving.
true.
No.
Bungee jumping next.
Ziplining, bungee jumping, then hang gliding, then maybe doing a few jumps off of ski slopes is somewhere in the mix as well. Skydiving is way above that.
I would do it though. I would try it once. I do it.
Matt, did you see a favorite one?
IRL Aanthara skydiving trip on the
No.
books.
I want to
That's
do
true.
it.
Did you have a
Alright.
favorite one, Matt?
Oh. I mean, pretty much everything that was named. The Brightwing
Let's play that
Eclipse
drinking
talk
game
was
in real
great.
life. By the way.
Yes, we should play the drinking game in real life.
Mm.
That was fun to invent.
After we eat the salmon.
I will say, just in terms of true, I can also make that. In terms of things that weren't said, I will just add, because this is something that only I can add. Playing Rafe is pretty great.
He's lovely.
Yes, he's lovely. I enjoy him. I would make a character that was Rafe for myself,
Mhm.
probably in a D&D campaign, so it's nice to play him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lovely. We will be back for session 61 next time. Not next week. At least 2 Fridays from now. Till then,